The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the it's the April 12th. It's the magical Monday edition of today's Trader's Edge show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. And let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you now make that one little 2x4 shift, means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But much more important than that, that's this. During this next 60 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on in 877-927-6648. If you can't dial in, we've got you covered there too. Go ahead, send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. And in our Tiger's Den, well, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on magical, magnificent, marvelous Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, mixed bag out here. You can see we've got the Dow. Well, you'll see it in a moment. Start sharing. There we go. You got the Dow is off 67. The S&P just slightly positive. NASDAQ's off 8. No big deal. Russell down 4. No big deal there. The semis are off 1% or 35 points. So they're the leader to the downside. You've got the New York Stock Exchange up 17. Gold is off 11. Silver's down 45 cents. So plenty to look at. Of course, we can take a look at what's moving in the markets out here. Dollar-wise, Tesla is the leader to the upside, up $25. Chipotle up 21. Nvidia 21. Alibaba up 20. Amazon up 18. To the downside, it's Tian. Can't pronounce the next word, but it's off $59 or 67%. Booking Holdings down 51 or 2%. iRhythm Technologies $50, 37%. Google is down $32, 1.5%. Shopify down 20, about 1 6/10% out there. The first question coming in is about. Let me do this here. No, before I go to this, let's take a look at the general markets. And to do that, we're going to change our view. I think we did this on Friday. And by changing the view, we're going to go take a look at, you should begin to see the upper left-hand corner now, 8 panels of charts out here. You've got the Dow in the upper left, and the lower right is going to be the New York Stock Exchange. So let's just get a feel for what the message of the markets is for you and I at 1:09 in the afternoon. The very first thing that you should notice inside the Dow, this is the cash indice that we're looking at, is Friday generated a TD9 count top. And that high is going to be a critical high. Why is that a critical high? Because if price closes above that high, which is 33,810.87, 33,810.87, if price closes above that, the daily time frame will be generating a strong momentum signal move to the upside. Until then, the Dow has a top. Now, in order for this top to have any relevance, any significance at all, price must close below the oscillator and change line first. That's at the green level. That's at 33,646 or so. So that number is going to change as price moves up and down. You must see a close below that for that topping condition to have any kind of significance. If we look at the S&P 500, well, the S&P 500, the cash index, also generated a TD9 count top on Monday. Price is trading or has traded just slightly above the high of that. And if price closes above 41.29.48, 41.29.48, any close today above that, and it could be tomorrow, but any close above that today will tell you about a strong momentum move to the upside inside the S&P 500. Inside the NDX, it formed bar number 8 of a TD9 count on Friday. Today appears it will be bar number 9. So this also has a valid TD9 count top. So as we speak at 1:10 in the afternoon, we have 3 TD9 counts that can identify a top, one in the Dow, one in the S&P cash, and one in the NDX 100. Now, in the case of the NDX 100, its actual TD9 count top might not form until tomorrow. Just like inside the Dow, inside the S&P, remember that TD9 count top formed on the bar following bar number 9. So that's still a potential inside the NDX 100. The Russell 2000 still hasn't taken out its Rhodes Momentum Indicator top that occurred back here in the middle of March. And it did form and prices below its oscillator and change on that green line, which is 2251. So this still has retained its somewhat bearish condition, so to speak. We'll take a look at the TAS market profiles for the Russell 2000 equity future contract, so we also have some perspective on key levels of support to be watching there. I don't have that here on the cash indices. If you take a look at the semis do not have a topping signal. They don't have a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. They don't have a sell the D point. They don't have a TD9 count. And today's pullback in price has been nothing more than basically a test of that green oscillator and change line. It didn't get exactly down there. That's priced at 32.26, but price did move down to that level and has bounced off of that since. So nothing is broken inside the semis. Inside the transports also do not have a valid topping signal. Now, there's a Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal that's been triggered, so it's got a signal, but it has not been confirmed. So let me make sure I clarify that. So there's no top that is in place yet that has been confirmed inside the transports. Spot volatility index, we talked about this on Friday. For those that were aggressive traders, recognizing that there was bar number 8 that was forming inside of the spot volatility index, which was an opportunity for those people that like to trade those vehicles to go ahead and take a long trade in a spot fix. Now, what it's done today, right now, it's traded right up into that red oscillator and change line. If it can close above it, it would suggest bailing on that trade. And if it no, I take that back. If it closes below the oscillator and change line, because it's red, that in fact would be suggesting to bail on that trade or expect that maybe the bar following bar number 9 is going to be the low of the pattern. I don't know which. I just know that when price rejects a red oscillator and change line, that's a very bearish pattern. It doesn't mean that things can't change, but it does mean that the typical pattern is to expect lower price. Of course, this will be an end of day. It's not going to really matter what we're looking at as 1:13 in the afternoon, although we now have a view as of 1:13 in the afternoon. What is it signaling to us? If you take a look at the New York Stock Exchange also forming bar number 1 of a TD9 count on Friday. But any close today, remember the New York Stock Exchange is trading higher, not by much right now, about 8 points. But if there's a close above 15,956.38, that's going to signal a strong momentum move for the New York Stock Exchange to the upside. So that is our cash indices out here, what they're doing. If I take a look at the XAU, I'll just pull this chart over here. It's on one of my other screens. We're seeing it pull back in the face of gold pulling back in the face of the U.S. dollar pulling back just a tad out here. Nothing broken in the XAU. If the XAU were to pull back and test 139.78, test and reject it, that would be a bullish message. That would actually be an indicator of a time to go ahead and enter or add to positions inside long mining trades. So in his overview, hey, that worked out perfectly. So for our first segment, that overview took us in to take a look at what the cash indices are signaling to us and what we glean out of this. Potential topping signal in the Dow, the S&P, perhaps the NDX 100, and certainly the Russell 2000. So the 4 core indices are saying it's time to be careful. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live, and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. I want to let you know that the phone lines are open. You can give us a call at 877-927-6648. The email line's open as well, Steve at TFNN.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, our Tiger's Den is open for any ping. Our first ping coming from Dan in Boston. Dan wants to take a look at ticker symbol EARS. That is Auris Medical Holding. And his question is... a few of us are in it. They are dropping some news on us tomorrow morning. Do the charts say it's good news? Well, as we take a look at this, here's what we know about EARS, Auris Medical, with regard to its daily and its weekly time frame. Its daily chart shows that price closed above the top of its daily profile 2 days ago, follow through today, trading up into a swing point that has volume of 58 million shares. You're doing with 45. So clearly price is pushing into that swing point, Dan, with volume. When you push into a swing point, assuming that it closes above the price level of 416, as long as price closes above that, the message from a volume swing point standpoint is that price should go target the top. Doesn't tell us whether it'll take it out, but it should go target the top, and that is at 625. If we take a look at where price could spike to, so let's say it's the news comes out, it's positive, price spikes the ball, gets up to test the top. The spike could get you all the way up to 660. Now, 660 is the top of the weekly profile. So we would suggest on a good news standpoint, and right now the message seems to be good news, it's a bearish structured weekly profile. Price has been well above the center of that box. Typically, that signals to us that buyers should be able to push price up to resistance. That is at the 660 level. So the call based upon today's data is suggesting that we should see EARS target the range between 625 and 660. The monthly does absolutely nothing for us. Let's just pull over my other white background charts, see if there's any additional information to glean from us. The additional information is the following. $4.54. That was the high from March 18th. Began the TD9 count bottom. When this formed a bottom, ears, it was on bar number 9. That was back on March 30th. If you look at the prior low, that took place on March 4th and March 5th. That was a TD9 count pattern as well. Well, the good news is today you're only in bar number 3 of a TD9 count. So that pattern is not going to identify a top for you. What we do see is that over the course of the last 2 trading sessions, price has taken out the resistance, breakdown resistance of 412 and 454. So those are also positive messages, and that just simply supports what the swing point volume analysis message generated for us. So yeah, if you're asking, is it going to be good news? It's going to be news that should go ahead and send us the stock higher up to those levels. Doesn't mean that it will. It's not a guarantee, but everything I'm looking at here suggests that that's what ears wants to do. So I hope that helps you out, Dan, and everybody else that is in that trade, and best of luck to you. Hector and the fuel injectors. Thank you, Hector, for saving me here, because you're the only question that's in. It always makes the show much easier for me to look at the instruments that you want to take a look at. In the case of Hector, it's going to be Chevron. CVX is the ticker symbol. And the question is, CVX is pulling back again today on extremely light volume. The hair on the back of your neck is starting to stand up. Buy the D point is nearing. Thoughts on CVX? Well, so my buy the D point hasn't actually come close to forming just yet. So let me just show you. Now I'm looking at a daily time frame chart here, Hector. And if there's an A to B equals CD pattern that forms, what I would be looking, because we're talking about to the downside, I would be using the high from March 12th as the A point. I would be using March 23rd as the B point. And it looks like it's either going to be the 26th or the 30th is going to be the C point. That 1-to-1 level gets us into 95, 1.272, 92. But price has to take out that swing point low of 100.69 for March 23rd. Now, there were 14 million shares done on that day. You can see prices pushing into that swing point with much lighter volume. You're only at 3.3 million shares right now. So the message is not that it's going to be able to break out the swing point and form an A to B equals CD. It's a potential to form out there, but that would be the A to B equals CD pattern I would be looking at. Instead, what price is doing, it's pulling back with lighter volume. We covered that with regard to the swing point, but it's inside its daily profile. So the next message for us comes with whether or not price is able to hold and stay above 101.81. If you see 2 consecutive closes below that, that could set up that A to B equals CD to the downside. And again, that suggests patience on your end. That's the daily time frame. If we take a look at the weekly time frame for Chevron, any close below 101.81 would signal a move to 98.63. That is the bottom of its daily profile. And at 95.50, that is the top of the monthly profile. So we'll summarize it this way before we go look at the white background charts. That is this. Right now on a daily basis, Chevron is pulling back with light volume into a support level, which is the bottom of its TAS profile, 101.81. If price were to close below that for 2 consecutive sessions, we're looking at a move that could take us back in the 95 to 98 area. We do not have that message right now at 123, but you know the level to be watching. Perfect. Let's go take a look at the white background chart and see what we can find out here. And on the white background chart, we can see that today is bar number 8 of a TD9 count. Boom, voila. And price has broken through 103.13. So it's not going to be the A to B equals CD down pattern that could stand the hair on the back of your neck up. It really should be the TD9 count. Now, what we know about the TD9s is that a top or bottom, we take a look at the last top out here with Chevron, it was bar number 8. That occurred on March 12th. So it could be March or April 12th. Yeah, April the 12th, that identifies the next bottom, bar number 8. But it could also be the bar from tomorrow. It could be the bar from Wednesday. So not the A to B equals CD pattern that could maybe get you into this trade, but more so the TD9 counts. Now, if that were to occur out here, which we want to wait for is we want to wait for some kind of bottoming signal, Hector, on the 30-minute time frame chart. We don't have that as we speak right now. We can't see prices triggered to Rhodes momentum indicator signal, but we need a bullish reversal candle to confirm that pattern. So over the coming days, let's continue to pay attention to it. I know you'll go ahead and, I hope you will, send me another email to remind us to take a look at this for Chevron. And what we'll be looking for is not just bottoms forming on the intraday time period. We'd also like to see some levels of resistance taken out. So the 30-minute shows us a potential signal. The 65, not so much. The 130, not so much. The 195 could be a bar number 9 of a TD9 count, right around breakout support. So continue to keep your eyes on this, not from the A to B equals CD pattern, but instead from the TD9 count, and then the turning signals on those shorter-term time frame charts. And that was for Hector and Patty, who wanted to take a look at this Chevron. No other questions that we go. I take that back. I see we've got one inside the Tiger's Den from Peak G. Where's Bitcoin in the DeMark count out there? I'll tell you what we'll do, Peak. I'm going to come back to that because we're going to go to a break in 30 seconds. And that way, all the time that it takes for my system to convert that data, we'll do that when we're off air. So what do we want to take a look at while we're on air? New York Stock Exchange. Let's go take a quick peek at that. We can see that its advanced decline oscillator reading is still above zero. You're looking at the center panel of the screen out there, and when that's above zero, the New York Stock Exchange is generating a bullish message to you. Now, price does continue to move higher, and it's moving higher in the face of a descending trend line. So even though I just gave you a bullish message for the New York Stock Exchange, and it is bullish, but we know we've got 4 messages of potential concern in the S&P, the Dow, the Russell, and the NASDAQ 100. Well, here is a topping pattern that is present inside the New York Stock Exchange as well. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. When we get back here, we're going to go take a look at Bitcoin for Peak G in the Den.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den trading room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's off 97, S&P down 4, NASDAQ wanted off 25. And for Peak G in the Den, wants to take a look at Bitcoin. And the question is, Steve, where's Bitcoin in the DeMark count? And what are its prospects out here? So in order for me to read on Bitcoin Peak, what I need to do is put up the continuous contract out here. And the reason is because this just rolled over into the June contract. And the data that I have just isn't sufficient to generate the counts that we want to take a look at or anything else along those lines. So now that we've got this view, and I want to just disregard the TAS market profiles out here because I've got this continuous contract. They could be right, but I want you to just disregard them. In answering your question, where are we at with regard to the TD9 count, which I assume is what you were asking for? Well, there really is no TD9 count. This is showing us right now bar number 4 occurred on Friday to the downside. If this closes where it is right now today, this count will get negated. So there is, in essence, as of 1:31 in the afternoon, no TD9 count. So we got that out of the way. But what we can also see is that the last high that formed out here was on bar number 9, and price is testing that. And so far, it's tested and rejected that. That tells us that this TD9 count top is still in play out here. It would only be a close above that, and that is 61,255. That would suggest prospects of price moving higher. So that's your resistance level. As we speak right now, 131, it's still too early to call the daily candle. If this were the close of the session, then what we have is a confirmed Rhodes momentum indicator top because this is a bearish shooting star candle and price is below the oscillator and change line. Two elements that you need to confirm at least a short-term topping signal. Okay, so that's good. We have that in place out here. So where is price likely targeting? So you've got a valid top in place. And not until we see a close above that, and I'll give you that figure again, 61,255, is this going to signal that price wants to move to upper ground. Now, support areas, maybe this is signaling to us pullback to support. Market profiles or below market profiles, the TD9 breakout level, and that's 46,295. So on your pad of paper to the downside, the next potential buy point, as we speak right now, 1:32 in the afternoon, is 46,295. That's looking at the daily time frame chart for Bitcoin. Actually, let me do this as well. Apologize, 1 second. Let's open this up and expand it. The 30-minute chart here shows a Rhodes momentum indicator top, and this may be signaling an A to B equals CD to the downside pattern. That should take price down into about the 59,250 level. So I'd be watching for that to unfold. But that's just what's going on in the short term. On the weekly time frame chart, what we see out here is that TD9 count and a potential Rhodes momentum indicator signal. So on a weekly basis, Bitcoin is generating two potential topping patterns. Likewise, this week could be, should be, maybe, we won't know till Friday, the TD9 count topping pattern. So far, the high is 61,945. Let's assume that by Friday, price doesn't take that out. But on Monday, we start to see closes above 61,945. Well, on a weekly basis, that signal would be strong momentum move to the upside. But as we speak right now, the weekly's given us a potential topping pattern. The daily is definitely giving us a potential topping pattern, but we need to see how the bar closes at the end of the day out there. And that's what we see when we take a look at confirmation. We only have 2/3 of it. We need the full confirmation. And the full confirmation would be a close below 60,636. If price closes below 60,636, I apologize, I can't even say that one time slowly, then that would signal to us about the potential pullback in Bitcoin. And the levels to be watching there from a profile standpoint only come from the daily time frame, and those would be 57,507 and 54,378. I apologize if the sound cut out. I have no idea where that was in the sound, but hopefully you got the gist with regard to Bitcoin, what it's doing. Just to summarize, the daily and the weekly suggest that there may be a pullback out here because of the topping signals, and if price takes out the high of, what was it? Actually, to get the actual high, I should take a look at the current contract versus that continuous just to make sure. So the high would be the price would need to take out 63,765. So whatever number I gave you before, please use the correct number, the June contract number of 63,765. If there's a close above that, then it's off to the races to the upside. So hope that helps you out, Peak. Thanks so much for writing in and asking that question. Let's see if we've got some other question out here. And looks like we do. Great. Thank you. David M. writes in. And, we've got a caller on the line. You know, with callers on the line, we've got call-ahead seating. So let's go out to Brent in Martinez, California. Brent, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Steve. Thank you for taking the call. I hope you had a good weekend.
I had a terrible weekend, but thanks for asking.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I got a back injury, and it really flared itself up on Friday. Went to the doctors before I did the show, and whatever adjustment he made, it had me on my back all weekend long, which was not too bad because the Masters were on. So, I laid in bed all weekend long watching the Masters. But I'm in major pain as we speak right now. But other than that, life is great. Everything's happening for me.
Good. I want to hear.
Anyways, Brent, what are you calling about? I didn't get a symbol or anything passed through to me.
The question I have for you, it's similar to the question I posed to you. It was a ways in the past, but it's actually the opposite direction this time. I talked to you previously about kind of out of the major indices at that time, what would have been the best one to go long. And that happened to be the Russell, the IWM, that worked out well. So now I'm asking the opposite question, is we might be potentially topping here out of the major indices, the Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Russell. If you had a choice, given where we're at, what would be your, which one would you pick?
Downside action. Downside action of the four, let's say. And we're taking a look right now, folks, at the ES Mini, that's your upper left, NASDAQ next to it, then the Dow, and then on the very right, you've got the Russell 2000. So the way that I would answer this question here, because all four of these do have valid topping patterns that are still in place. Now, I take that back. The ES Mini does not have a valid topping pattern, and the NQ. So let me do it like this here, because I want to make sure when I answer the question, I'd like to be thorough enough for everybody to see what it is I'm looking at. Your eyes may see something different. So here are the 4 daily equity future contracts. And if you look in the upper left, Brent, the ES Mini, last Friday's close was a close above the TD9 count. So that's bullish. If we take a look at the NQ, today is going to become bar number 9 of a TD9 count. And maybe that's going to identify a top, but that top might not take place until tomorrow. The Dow has negated its, it does not have any topping pattern in place. And the Russell 2000 does. Brent, we're going to go to a break. It's going to be a pause. Take a look at this. My inclination right now is to say the NQ or the Russell 2000, but the NQ would be a day or two potentially early. When we come back from this break, let's talk through that. Steve Rhodes with TFNN.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at the 4 equity future contracts right now. We're trying to assess of these 4, which one, the question is, of these 4, which one would I consider taking a short on based upon any patterns that we're looking at. So right now we know that the ES Mini has negated its TD9 count pattern out here, so that's bullish. The NQ is about to form a TD9 count, which may be either Friday's high or could be today's high, depending if we get to a higher high. We haven't yet. Or it could be tomorrow. So we might be a little bit early there. Where we don't appear to be early to put on a short trade would be the Russell 2000. And the reason that I suggest that is the following reasons. Let's expand the daily chart out here. So it looks like, Brent, it might be deja vu, because I believe when you asked this question in reverse, it was actually the Russell 2000 that looked to be the most bullish. And that was because the other 3 equity futures contracts had traded below the bottom of their daily profiles, where the Russell 2000 at that time had not. And that's why we went with the Russell 2000. We don't have quite that same information right now. The Russell 2000, you don't see it on this chart, but it's trading with inside a bearish structured profile. And today so far, the Russell 2000 is the only of the 4, this is the only one that has taken out Friday's lows. So we've got a valid topping pattern out here, Rhodes Momentum Indicator, wave number 7. Price has not been able to take out its oscillator and change line. That's up at 22.51. And to me, then, therefore, that would be the weakest, or at least suggest that price should make its way back to about 21.42. Now, before I get to the 21.42 level, I'm going to pull over a 30-minute time frame chart, drop it on the same screen out here. And on the 30-minute chart, and the other reason to say, okay, the Russell 2000 would be where I would consider putting on that short. It is if we take a look at the bounce that took place overnight and into the open this morning, where price got to in the Russell 2000 equity future contract is right where it should have broken down, 22.40.30. That was a TD9 breakdown level. Now, the cool thing about this is there's not anybody with inside TFNN, including myself, that would have been able to select 22.40.30 as the breakdown level for the Russell 2000. But luckily we use that TD9 pattern. It does it for us, and that way we're completely objective. Now, price did break through a TD9 breakout support level of 22.61, and right now it's regaining this. So what I would say, Brent, if we see another close below 22.61, a suggestion that price is going to head lower. If I were to do the same patterns here, look for the same patterns in the other 3 equity future contracts, we don't see that same kind of break of support or a getting up to a clear resistance level for us. So does that make sense so far, what I've come up with for you?
It does, and honestly, just visually looking at the daily charts, you can kind of see that, like you said, with the oscillator and change line with the Russell, that it's up against that and having trouble with that. The others are above. It just looks to be the one that would make the most sense to. It's the weakest out of the bunch, I guess.
It's like if you put a request to me and say you got to choose one, which one would it be? It would be those reasons that we went through. As far as why I came up with that. And because, look, the NQ could still rally tomorrow easily to complete its TD9 count pattern, but it looks like the Russell might struggle, or you've at least got that, as you pointed out, that oscillator and change line resistance right overhead. So that's the one that I would go with at this point in time.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and those other levels that you gave and breaking it down to their shorter time frame was helpful. So thank you so much, Steve. Just you take care of yourself. I hope you feel better soon, and it was great talking with you. Just take care.
You bet. Thanks, Brent. Always good to speak with you as well. That was Brent in Martinez, California. We had a question. Oh, yeah, that was right. That was coming in here from David. And David wants to take a look at Viacom. So give me a moment, if you would, folks, to get back to my other chart so that I can try to get Viacom going for us. We'll probably do it on this one. VIACOM. Now let's get this going on the black background charts, and then we can read David's question. VIACOM. And the question is, do you see a bottom forming, or is the pattern telling you lower price? So Viacom, you spelled it out. I don't know what anybody in the den know what Viacom's symbol is? It's not, I didn't think it was VIACOM, but VIAC, thanks. So VIAC, let's get that going out here. Oops, VIAC. Thank you. Let me get that going on my other charts as well. So as we take a look at Viacom, so the question is, do we see a bottom? Right now, what we're going to do here, David, is we're just simply going to take a look at how price is trading in relationship to its profile levels. These are support areas, or could be support areas. However, in this case here for Viacom, price formed a brand new bullish structure daily profile 3 days ago. And ever since it formed, price has been below the bottom of that profile. And that profile is 42.46. You're trading at 40.95. This is not suggesting to you or I a bottom is formed. The weekly, price has been 3 weeks now below the bottom of its bullish structured profile at 46.03. Profile-wise, this is suggesting to you and I that Viacom wants to target 26.57. That is the top of that monthly profile. Now, let's pull over my white background charts. There may be other information out here, Dave, that we can glean. So on the daily time frame chart, we're looking for any kind of a TD9 count. Let's see where we're at, if we're at anywhere. And where we're at is nowhere. So there's no TD9 count that had formed. You see a TD9 count on my screen, but that wasn't the bottom. It was bar number 4. That was the low of that initial pattern. So that's not in place. This suggests that Viacom is targeting 36.21. That is the next TD9 breakout level. That's on the daily time frame. The weekly chart out here shows that price is likely targeting 36.03. So we've got one at 36.03, one at 36.21. In our 30-minute time frame chart, showing that it's trying to form some type of little bounce pattern out here. Nothing has been confirmed just yet, but I wouldn't really pay much attention to the 30-minute chart here. The daily and the weekly are providing us with a clear signal that Viacom wants to head to lower price out there. So, Dave, I hope that helps you out in Boston. If you see something change on the charts out there, please get back to me, and we'll pull them up and see if there's a different message as of that moment in time. HD writes in, and HD wants to take a look at VISL. Almost sounds like Visalign or something. VISL. I don't know if that's it. Vislink Technologies. You looked at Vislink for me last week. It's taken quite a hit since then. Does 220 look like a re-entry price? So price is now below. Friday it closed just below the bottom of that bullish structured profile at 299. And the next profile level, HD, we'll go look at my other charts out here, but the next profile level that it could be targeting is the bottom of the weekly, and that gets you down to 168. So to answer your question, does 220 look like a good re-entry price? Not from the market profile levels. Now 220, let's see, what is the low of the swing point out there? The low of the swing point is 238. That swing point that I'm looking at is March the 5th. 17 million shares done then. Today you're doing 6.2. So price may find support at that 238 level. May find support. Of course, if price gets down there, you'd be looking for, and if that could be an area where there could be a bottom, could be. Then you'd be looking for some type of confirmation on your 30-minute time frame chart. So let's do this. We're going to pull up the white background charts. We're going to run out of time here, and I don't want to run out of time for you. So when we get back from this break, we'll finish off ticker symbol VISL and anything else that we can find in the markets worth you folks taking a look at and watching for the rest of the day. We'll be right back.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. If you take a look at the Visi link out here, let's look at my white background charts. The black background chart suggests the price move down to about the $1.68 level. If we take a look at the daily time frame out here, HT, what you don't like is what we took a look at on Thursday, if we did take a look at it on Thursday, and that was that the oscillator and change line had turned from green to red. That typically results at some point in time a price of that line along with price. Now, because that had turned from green to red, that test and rejection, closing below that red oscillator and change line, was signaling lower price. Now, that lower price was really about 303, the TD9 breakout level. But now you have a real clear break of that area. So we know that price is targeting that March swing point that we looked at. And below that, it could be an A to B equals CD to the downside pattern. We can't make that call just yet because price has to take out that swing point. But even the weekly time frame chart out here, where last week price was coming back and testing the oscillator and change line, it's blown through that. Now, the week is not over. It's only Monday. But this is suggesting that VisiLine or VisiLink, whatever this is, should pull back and test the bottom of that weekly profile, and that's in the $168 area out there. And that's what I think it's suggesting versus the 220 that you came up with. So I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for writing in. So we got through all the questions today, and that's a beautiful thing. We've got about 30 minutes before we go to the next show out there. And stay tuned. We've got 2 more great hours lined up for you, David White and Tom O'Brien, to take us on home. We didn't look at gold out here. Let's take a look at Goldilocks, try to get a feel for, see if there's anything here we can find. Here's gold, left-hand side, silver in the center, the U.S. dollar on the very right-hand side. The U.S. dollar index is suggesting it wants lower price. That next lower price area is about 91.77. The pullback today inside of gold and silver, the question for us in gold, because it wasn't able to take out 755.40, is are we just in a consolidation? And it's a possibility. But with the U.S. dollar index pulling back, it hasn't taken out the lows that it needs to. That low would be below 92.01. If we do see a close below 92.01, gold and silver should be able to rebound. Folks, stay tuned for 2 more great hours, and I'll see you back here on Terrific Tuesday. Have a magical, marvelous Monday.